Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bookworms on Call, the podcast where we dive deep into anything literary and storytelling related or adjacent or otherwise. I am one of your hosts, Evan Rodriguez. I use they, them pronouns and he, him pronouns sometimes. Today I'm feeling very they, them, though. And I am joined by my lovely co-host.
Hello, everyone. I'm Danielle Mamaril.
And if you notice my uncharacteristically devilish smile, I have a little treat for Danielle today that I told her about off camera last week when we were recording. But this week, I have a quiz for her. Little quiz. Because Danielle is... what would you call it? What you go to school for?
I go to Cal Poly Pomona, and I am studying English with a focus in literary studies. So I study literature and such.
And that's very cool. And I thought it would be fun to test some of Danielle's literary knowledge. Not in I did some deep research on what college students are being quizzed on. That's not fun because Danielle's already doing that. No, this is gonna be are you smarter than a fifth grader style quiz where I asked you questions that you should have learned the answers to a long time ago, to see if you remember or if you've picked up any of that information that you may not have learned in your schooling days, etc., etc.
If anything, this is going to be exposing my education path.
Perhaps not.
And I get to have the wonderful privilege of blaming it on my professors and not me if I do poorly. If I do well, then it's all me. That's how that goes.
That is exactly I love that conceit, Danielle. I appreciate your little idiosyncronicities and such. Before we get to the quiz, however, I would like to lead a very, very brief discussion about education as it pertains to art.
Oh dear.
Mostly just I want to assure the audience that we are not of the belief that you need an education to be good at any art form.
Oh no.
Especially in the age of the internet, a lot of people are self-taught nowadays. A lot of people before formal education was a standardized thing were self-taught. A lot of very famous artists are self-taught. As in historical artists, not contemporary artists from the past 100 years, but artists from a way long time ago. Besides the point, what I'm trying to say is a lot of people get their skills from looking at other artists and just doing self studies and such. So don't take this as me.
I currently bought 3
yeah
books.
exactly
Let's do a little book haul.
exactly It's
I got The Business of Being a Writer, Real Artists Don't Starve, and Save the Cat, the classic. So a few classics that are popular in the self-taught writer
exactly
world.
and if I'm interpreting that correctly, that's not part of your curriculum. You just went out of your way to get those yourself.
Oh no,
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
not
see,
part of my
that-
curriculum. My school is not that not that good.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's art is about doing it your own way. It's about self-expression, and sometimes self-expression is done through educating yourself either in a formal sense or in a self-teaching sense. And that's kind of just what I wanted to have as a prelude to our quiz. Is hey, it's okay if you're not formally educated on this stuff, because you don't have to be a good artist. It can help. It can get you ahead a little bit, but at the end of the day, it is not the end all be all of your abilities as an artist. So, with that being said,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of beef with fine arts programs that I am aware of because I'm currently looking at MFAs in creative writing. I'm looking at attending grad school. So yeah, there's some controversy between fine arts programs. I don't know if you know about this.
Ooh,
Evan.
spill.
Not just the scandals that are the sex scandals that are involved in fine arts programs, but also the idea of that fine arts creative writing programs in particular focus so much on literary fiction rather than genre fiction, and there is a very real critique that they train their writers to make art but not how to sell it, which is a lot of the times the main reason why writers attend MFA programs so that they can learn how to sell their writing, but then they end up at the end of it not like a great writer, but they don't know how to sell their stuff. In addition to, when writing programs only teach you how to write literary fiction doesn't sell. It's genre fiction that does. So, critiques here and there. All of them, some of them valid, some of them not.
Basically, it's all up to you whether or not you want to get your toes in that sort of stuff.
And it's also a fantastic privilege to like go to school in the first place.
Yeah. I know that from my perspective as an artist, I am self-taught on basically everything. It's like because I don't have the resources to formally educate myself, especially if you're like in any kind of visual art. Like you can just Google it and you'll find a bajillion like tutorials from a bajillion different perspectives on how to do certain artistic techniques or how to interpret certain artistic techniques. I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm just saying if you don't have the means, don't feel like it's going to be a detriment to you, because there's still a lot of options. So
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. With that being said, shall we get into our quiz?
I suppose so. I'm so nervous, folks. Evan told me little to nothing about this quiz. I am assuming... Okay, can I tell you what I think this quiz is going to be about?
All right.
I think this quiz is going to be literary trivia. Like, how many days did Beowulf dive deep into finding Grendel's mother type of questions? And I don't know how many days. I don't know. I just know that he went swimming for a while. So... In addition to, my education is incredibly Eurocentric. You can blame the literary canon for that. So, we will see how this goes.
Well, I'm going to spoil something for you really quick. My questions are very Eurocentric because that's the education I had. So, don't worry about that front. But
okay.
Your presumption might be a little correct.
But I did read Beowulf not once, but twice.
Ooh,
I read Oedipus
cool.
Rex. I read Oedipus Rex like 3 times. That's 2 times too many. No one needs to read Oedipus Rex more than once in their life.
Honestly, that's still impressive. I don't think I've ever met anybody other than you now who's read Oedipus Rex even once. So I think that's cool.
I've read Pride and Prejudice 6 times.
Did you like it?
No. I mean, here's the thing. I appreciate Pride and Prejudice for all that it is, and I appreciate it. Do I like it? I appreciate it.
Fair enough. So I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this quiz will give us some insights into, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Yeah, sure. Into your knowledge. I'm just like, I'm anxious because like I spent so much time on this. Like I've been like toiling away, like racking my brain on this quiz, which sounds incongruous, but making quizzes is hard. So I think let's just get into it. Let's just start. All right. Question. Oh, okay. By the way, I'm going to preface this by saying, these are multiple choice. I did write them like multiple choice questions, but I'm going to present them to you in that I want you to give me what you think the answer is first. And if you aren't confident, I am willing to give you the multiple choices.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So question 1, what is the meaning of a linking verb?
Fuck. Professor Kermod, I'm so sorry. This is going to be a lot of me apologizing to professors, because I literally took an intro to grammar. I believe those are ing verbs.
Mm-hmm.
Gerunds, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
That go... They link a sentence from one sentence to another.
Not quite. Do you want help?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll give you the multiple choices. So your choices are: it is a verb that is followed by an adjective and a noun. It's a verb that's followed by a noun and a pronoun. It's a verb that's followed by a noun. It's a verb that's followed by an adjective, noun, or pronoun.
Adjective, noun, or pronoun, the last one.
That is incorrect, Danielle.
No! Professor Kamad!
Now, do you want another chance at answering it, or do you just want to hear the answer?
I just want to hear the answer, because I'm not going to get it. I got an A in the class, but as a... A lot of that class was full of people who were training to be elementary school teachers, so they had to know what a linking verb is. Um, and for me, it is required, but I did what I could. I got an A in that class, and then I forgot everything. I can make you a linguistic tree chart.
First question, didn't do great. Fortunately, there's no consequences to getting any answers wrong yet.
Okay.
So
Just
let's
my pride.
yeah, just your pride. So let's jump to question 2. All right. The person second in importance to the protagonist in a drama is called the what?
Fuck. The second person in antagonist?
The second person in importance to the protagonist in a drama is called the what?
A secondary character?
That is another name for this, I believe. However, that's not the term I'm looking for.
Wow. My bad.
Remember, at any point you can ask for your multiple choice answers.
Side character, secondary character. You're just pronouns, synonyms of one another. Give me the multiple choice.
All right. A, antagonist. B, token. C, tritagonist. D, deuteragonist.
Deuteragonist? That's so funny. I have to choose that one. Dude.
D?
Because I think DU is 2 and try is 3.
Well, Danielle, your instinct led you down the correct path because that is correct. It is deuteragonist.
I have never heard of that in my life.
Really? I love that word. I love the word deuteragonist. It's so funny.
It sounds like a dinosaur.
Question 3. This one's a bit trickier. Which philosophical text inspired Ray Bradbury's novel Fahrenheit 451?
I've never read Fahrenheit 451. I've skimmed it.
Honestly, good.
It was assigned reading, but
Yeah.
you know, as an English major, you kind of got to balance which books you're actually going to read and which ones you're not going to. And
No,
Fahrenheit
totally fair.
451 fell off the wayside. It is what it is. I feel like I need to hear the multiple choice ones first.
All right. Your multiple choices are A, Rights of Man by Thomas Paine. B, The World as Will and Representation by Arthur Schopenhauer. C, The Republic by Plato. D, The Praise of Folly by Desiderius Erasmus.
I think it's Plato.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Danielle, you are correct. It is The Republic by Plato. And I wanted to explain something. The Republic specifically is the origin of the allegory of the cave, which is specifically what inspired Fahrenheit 451. So
that would make sense. I was thinking of the allegory, not the...
Yeah. I didn't want to just write down the allegory of the cave because that would have immediately given it away. But the allegory of the cave, well, the Republic is where the allegory of the cave comes from. So that's why I phrased that question like that. All right. Question 4. This one's a fun one. This one's about genres. Which fantasy genre features the key element of a character being transported to or reincarnated in a different world?
Here's the thing about my education. We don't cover genre fiction that much. We cover classics.
Oh no, Danielle, whatever will you do?
I don't think that I've ever taken... Have I ever read a genre book in my education? I don't think I have.
We gotta rework the American education system.
I haven't even read, like, The Hunger Games or anything for, like, a teen lit class.
Woof.
I know, it's rough. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay. Which fantasy genre features the key element of a character being transported to or reincarnated in a different world? This one's very popular right now. Or at least, like, 2 years ago.
Can I hear the multiple choices? I if I knew the answer, I probably don't know the name of it.
Yes, you may. Okay, so answer. So A, Shenmue. B, Fable. C, Isekai. D, Bangsian.
Fuck me. Obviously, it's Isekai. Obviously. Duh.
Danielle, you are correct. It is
Oh,
Isekai.
yeah, obviously. I totally knew that. It was so obvious from a mile away.
Isekai is a Japanese word which just means another world. And fun fact, the other ones, Shenmue is specifically a Chinese originating genre, which focuses on like mythological cosmological beings like gods and demons and stuff. And then Bangsian is specifically a genre that focuses on characters as they travel through the afterlife. So, fun stuff. Speaking of isekai, Danielle, we are moving on to question 5.
More Japanese stuff. Oh dear.
Oh, something a little more special. Danielle. You awake in darkness. The beating of droplets echoes around you in infinite directions. The space you're in is incomprehensible, save for a faint purple glow ahead of you. As you come closer to the glow, you can better make out its source. It's a book, pages spilling light out onto a cold stone floor. And though the cover is obscured by darkness, you can just make out the title scrawled over the thin paper cover. Zenith, the Androma Saga.
No!
You have a choice here. Do you pick up the book or do you leave the book?
This is a choose your own adventure. I'm gonna pick up the book. As much as I dislike Zenith, I'm not gonna leave a book behind.
You picked up the book. Apart from its glow, it is indistinguishable from any other copy of Zenith. Every word and passage is exactly where it should be, and even the foreword and acknowledgments. With light to aid you, you edge forward, now more aware that you are in some kind of dank cavern far below the surface. After walking for some time, you feel the ground shift beneath you. It seems like an insignificant tremor at first, but then something dense and hairy brushes your leg. You extend the book out in front of you, casting light onto the form of some kind of creature. Long, hairy, armored, with huge gnashing mandibles. You are able to evade its first attack on you, but its thousands of legs carry it quickly back toward you. The beast smacks into you, sending you across the floor and the book away from you. The book bounces across the floor until it lands on its spine, popping open, spewing the purple light up toward the cavern ceiling. Before the beast lunges at you again, you make out faint letters etched into the wall. Question 6.
Hey.
First or third, tense and singular. To be in passing, which word in particular? 4 words flash in your mind. Your body compelled to blurt out any of them. What do you say? A. When. B. Isn't. C. Was. D. Why.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, of course. And for your sake, I will also provide a layman translation because from here on out, the questions are all written like riddles. So if I have written them too confusingly, I will also provide a layman translation. But for now, your question is, first or third, tense and singular, to be in passing, which word in particular?
Fuck me. It's isn't. Obviously. Duh.
Danielle, you are incorrect, and the enemy has hit you.
No.
The skin on your shoulder explodes into a deep wound as the beast's mandibles slash you open. You're knocked down, but have enough time to consider a different answer while the beast takes its time whipping around its long body. You have another chance to answer.
And can you repeat the multiple choice answers for me, please?
When, isn't, was, and why.
It's when. Duh. Audience, you know what it is. You know we're on the same track now. You know the answer. It's obviously when.
You panic and leap out of the way, bleeding inscrutably into the air. Though nothing happened, you have a chance to try a different word while the beast takes its time whipping around its long body.
It's gonna let me keep going.
Yep. You were wrong again. Do you want a layman's translation, Danielle?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Okay, so it's from first or third person perspective. Which past tense singular word? What is the past tense singular word for the word be? As in to be.
And what were it? There were two more. Which one was it again?
Was and why.
It was.
The beast halts, its roar softening into a pained squeal. You shouted, perhaps in a panic, perhaps with blind confidence, the word was, and the beast becomes completely petrified, transformed into an obelisk of stone.
Yay!
Congratulations, Danielle.
Folks, I have been playing, as of filming, I've been playing D&D all day, and now I just get to continue playing D&D. Oh dear, I've been playing D&D since 9 a.m. And we're currently filming this at 8 p.m.
Well, too bad, kid.
Too much D&D.
The beast topples backwards, smashing open the cavern wall, letting light from the outside drift in from above, illuminating newfound pathways before you. The left pathway is suffocatingly narrow, but noticeably flat, with a distant light at the end. The right pathway, while wide, is jagged and twists into deeper darkness. Nothing drives you but the need to understand how you came to this place. You must move forward. Ah, gee, not another one, a voice behind you sounds. You whip around with a start, poised for another assault. Before you is no monster. At least, not the caliber of the one you just faced. It's a stout green being with the nose and ears of a bat. I presume you've got a fair few questions. Danielle, it is now your opportunity to ask me what the fuck the rules of the game are. You can ask anything. You can ask about this character. You can ask the rules of the game. You can ask about what, like, where you are. Anything.
What the fuck are the rules of this game?
All right, Danielle. First of all, you started with 100 HP. However, because you got hit by a monster, you lost 10 HP. Every time you get a question incorrect and the monster lands a hit on you, you lose 10 HP. A monster lands a hit based upon a random number generator had set from 1 to 4. If the number lands on the number corresponding to the correct answer of the question that you're trying to solve, that's when the monster hits you.
Okay.
And you progress through the story by answering questions.
Obviously. How the fuck did I get down here?
We don't know. People just end up down in the caverns. And in this place is ruled by a being called the God of Words, who is said to exist in the deepest part of the caves. And basically, the God of Words has left questions throughout the caverns, and each question is guarded by a beast. And if you can answer the answer to the question itself is known as words of power, which have the power to destroy the beasts guarding the riddles. The more riddles you answer, the closer you get to the God of Words. And of course, the God of Words is hiding behind the riddle whose answer has the words of power to destroy the God of Words themselves.
Obviously. Audience.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Is there a camera outside of character? Is there a camera where the audience is looking in on this? Is this being filmed like a reality TV show?
No, it's just you and me, Danielle. Exactly how we've always done it.
And who in the world are you? Are you a moderator of some kind? A soldier?
Well, this creature, I am a goblin named Tori Trial, who is also lost in these caves, just as hundreds of other souls are lost in the caves, trying to find their way out and trying to solve the riddles of the God of Words.
Would you like to join me?
I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm on my own leg of this quest. But before you go, I will just say I've seen equal numbers of travelers enter both of those tunnels over there, and none of them ever come back. So good luck.
Thanks.
And the goblin snickers and saunters off down the right pathway, vanishing like a ghost into the darkness. So you are free to pick a path. If you would like to join Tory Trial, you may go down the right pathway. But if you would like to continue on your own path, you can go down the left, easy-looking pathway.
I thought both were more difficult.
No, the left one is just really narrow. However, it's like flat and smooth, and there's light at the end. But the other one, it's like twisting and like jagged and dangerous looking, and it just goes deeper into the darkness. That's where Tory Trial went.
I'm going to go down the sharp way because I feel like
the right pathway.
Yes, because I feel like the more dangerous looking paths are always the right ones.
All right. You take the wide, jagged pathway, following in step with Tory Trial, though you can no longer see the little green beast. You stumble, water splashing your face as you completely lose your footing and roll forward deeper into the tunnel until you smack against a jutting stalagmite. You quickly rise at the shriek and splash of something up ahead. Twinkling rocks quickly let you know what you're in for as they cast their light on the slick, wet skin of 3 barbed tentacles jutting out of the deep black lake. Instinctually, you seek out your next riddle, quickly finding it etched in the rock at your feet, illuminated by the stones. The names of these 2 beasts, the path of which the voyage Odyssey did cross, no casualty spared.
No! I literally have an epics class next semester.
Ooh, well, this is preparation, Danielle.
God, I'm not a Greek gay. I could never get into Greek mythology.
There is multiple choices if you need them.
I like to entertain the very thought that I could think about them without it, but frankly, I don't think I can. So, what is the question first?
You want your choices?
What's the question first, and then what's the choices?
All right. The question again is the names of these 2 beasts, the path of which the voyage Odyssey did cross, no casualty spared. And your choices are A, Cyclops and Ganymede, B, Hecatoncheir and Cronus, C, Kerberos and Gorgon, D, Scylla and Charybdis.
I think it's the first one.
Cyclops and Ganymede?
Yeah. Those sound the most familiar to me.
The tentacles tremble in delight, lashing out at you. You manage to get out of the way, but the monster is too elated by your failure to notice, giving you yet another chance to speak the words of power. So you didn't take any damage because the monster didn't roll on the correct answer. However, you did get it wrong. Now, what you're thinking of, they do encounter Cyclopses in the Odyssey. However, they encounter multiple, and it's not the specific scene I am describing.
Can you repeat the answers again, please?
So the answers that you didn't pick were Hecatoncheir and Cronus, Kerberos and Gorgon, Scylla and Charybdis.
Cerberus is a dog in the underworld, I believe. And I don't think they would have gone to the underworld. And what was the second one then?
The one after Kerberos and Gorgon, or just the second one I said?
The second one you said.
Well, that was Kerberos and Gorgon.
Oh. So then what was the first one you said?
Hecatoncheir and Cronus.
I know Cronus. He's the god of time, I believe. But I don't know if Cronus would have had anything to do with the Odyssey.
I don't know. They pissed off Poseidon. They could have pissed off Cronus, too.
They pissed off a lot of gods. I'm going with Cronus.
Once again, the tentacles smack at you, but they do miss. So, your remaining... Hecatoncheir and Cronus are specifically figures in the story of the Titanomachy. Cronus is one of the Titans, and Hecatoncheir the Hecatoncheirs are like these 100-headed creatures that help out the Olympians defeat the Titans. Your remaining choices are Kerberos and Gorgon, or Scylla and Charybdis.
Here's the thing. Scylla and Charybdis do not sound familiar at all, so I'm going to go with Cerberus, despite me thinking that they didn't not go into the underworld and meet Cerberus, but at least that sounds familiar.
Danielle, So far, you're very lucky with these tentacles. They keep trying to smack you, but you are very quick to get out of the way. Which means there's only one choice left. You gotta bleed out those words of power, Danielle.
And what were those words of power again?
Skyla and Charybdis.
Skyla and Charybdis. I scream out. My voice dries. I scream it out. It's like, Skyla and Charybdis.
I'm realizing how ironic my wording of this next bit is. Of course, Homer's Odyssey evokes many monsters, but there was no clearer answer. Strange such a foreign place beyond your reality would tether its trials to such a story, but nevertheless, as you proclaim your answer, a massive, sharp boulder crumbles out of the ceiling, splattering one of the tendrils to ribbons of flesh.
Get absolutely owned, tentacles.
Yeah, fuck those tentacles. Two of which remain, and together they take hold of the fallen boulder, wrapping themselves around it, ready to wield it like a mace. They're winding up, and you have little time to find the next riddle in the dim light of the cavern. That's when you spot it. The etchings catching the faint light of the stones as the boulder passes by them. The riddle is in the grasp of those tentacles. You had but a moment to piece together the faint glimpses of that riddle, but as the tentacles rear to smash you into a bloody smear, it comes to you. Spiral shell and tendrilled maw adorn this humble beast, which gives its name to that vessel which saw 20,000 leagues.
That sounds so familiar. Fuck me. Fuck me.
I don't know if you're going to need like a layman translation of this.
20,000 leagues. That sounds so familiar. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. It's a classic.
But have I read it before? Have I read anything with boats and things? I don't think so. 20,000 Leagues gives me images of like a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And ships remind me of treasure, like pirate books. But I've never read a pirate book. Pirate classic book. What is... Okay, first tell me the answers to it.
A. Nautilus. B. Coelacanth. C. Ammonite. D. Charnia.
That sounds like more Greek mythology. So
It's not. Those are all the names of real animals.
Oh, I thought it was like Greek mythology.
So do you want the layman question?
Sure.
All right.
Yes, please.
From what animal does the vessel in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea get its name?
That would be great if I read that book, but I have not.
Damn,
20,000
well,
Leagues Under the Sea.
you gotta think fast. This boulder is coming to smash you, Danielle.
Nautilus.
Of course! You knew the name of Captain Nemo's submarine. It's child's play.
Yes,
Your words of
obviously.
power work fast, and the boulder explodes into millions of shards, decimating one of the remaining tentacles. Good job, Danielle. You got it.
Yay. The reason why I chose Nautilus is because I once had a character named Nautilus, but then I ended up changing his name later.
Nautilus is a good word.
But-
It's a fun word. Also, cute animal. You and one final tentacle remain, caught in a standoff. You grab a stone shard from the floor, ready to pelt at the sentient limb. No more riddles to be found. That is, until you look to the back wall of the cavern, and in glowing stones was written that final riddle, to which you have to give words of power. That ghostly wail rend the ship to splinters, and out from the sea, Ishmael finds this his lifesaver.
Ishmael. The only whale I know is Moby Dick.
Good assumption to make.
But that's not the answer.
No. You might need a layman's translation for this one, because it is
Okay.
a little confusing. Okay, basically, what I am asking is, after Moby Dick destroys Ahab's ship, Ishmael, the other main character in Moby Dick, he comes out of the sea floating on what object?
A barrel, obviously.
Funnily enough, that is one of the multiple choice questions, or answers. The tentacle shoots forward, wrapping you in teeth and slime. Your pebble shard is useless, and you're pulled down into the endless depths. Sorry, Danielle, that one was an instant kill. I forgot to mention, the further you go, the less the HP system will matter. That one was instant death.
No.
Fortunately, I am kind, and you will get a chance to answer again.
So what are the multiple choice?
Your multiple choice
Options.
answers are Ahab's false leg, a barrel of whale oil, a coffin, or a sperm whale tooth?
I feel like a coffin is very thematic as an author. If I was an author, I would choose a coffin. I'd be like, oh yeah, this demon goes hard. So I choose a coffin. They think that here's why I choose a coffin as an author, to be the one.
Yes.
Because it's a symbol of death, but it's the one thing that saves you. The irony, chef's kiss.
Oh yeah, incredible. And the tentacle knows it because it seizes as though shocked by electricity, and it collapses backwards. Once the waves settle, you find that the tentacle has perfectly formed a bridge for you to cross the lake. You have defeated your second monster, Danielle. How are you feeling?
Yippee! I am feeling not so good because a lot of these books I have not read. I was expecting things like Chekhov, maybe like Bartleby the Scrivener type beat, maybe Beloved, not Moby Dick or.
Sorry, I was trying to go for like thematically apt questions. If you notice, in the pre-journey questions, I asked about the allegory of the cave and a genre that sees someone transported to a different world. Here's where you are, Danielle. And you fought a water monster, so all your questions were about water monsters, in a sense.
Well, I hope next time we're going to end up in Russia so that we can end up with Russian literature, or maybe English literature. I'm a fan of that.
Perhaps.
Victorian English literature, that I can answer.
Maybe for your next journey, Danielle. But as for this journey, you continue farther into the cavern, feeling proud of yourself for felling such a horrible beast. Though, now you've become tired and hungry, and as the dark of your weary body surrounds the edges of your eyes, the smell of fresh-baked bread hits your nose. Your eyes shoot open, and before you, a neat, warmly lit tavern stands before you. Clearly, this is another of the God of Words trials, but the wind returns to your feet as this one seems much cushier than those which came before. Starting my recording again. All right. Upon entering the tavern, you find it sprawling with denizens of all sorts. Tall, short, fat, buff, green, blue, some with many teeth, and some with mouths like a snail's. Travelers from across the cosmic spectrum pulled here just as you were, and at the center of them all was Tory Trial. The green beast was sat at a table, 6 empty mugs beside their elbow as they shuffled a handful of cards. Not a moment too soon after you entered, Tory spotted you and beckoned you over. Oh, so you survived the beast of the lake. That's hard to do. But as you can see, lots of folks still get this far. They place 3 cards before them. Come, why not a little game to ease your tired head?
So I joined their game.
Mm-hmm. You sit down across from Tory Trial, and with a shining green nail, they flip over all 3 cards at once. The central is labeled Head of the Fire Lake, and the other 2 at the sides are called Fist of the Fire Lake. Each has a riddle on the body of the card. Tory gives you 3 cards. And yours, they say. Should you answer the riddles upon my cards, they are destroyed. Otherwise, your cards are destroyed. You turn over your cards. Each is identical and labeled Pit Tentacle, the beast which you just fought. You crack your knuckles. This will be a piece of cake. Are you as confident as the description says you are, Danielle?
Okay. I think this is... If we're going down the fire route, I think that you have to have some Dante's Inferno going on. And I love Dante's Inferno. Mm-hmm. So, if you don't... I feel like you need Dante's Inferno if you're going to go down the fire route.
Well, we're going to find out, Danielle. Question 10. Twisted form by my construct, reflected back on self-destruct. Vanity, the final killer, in this tempestuous gothic chiller.
Gothic literature. Oh my god, my beloved. Picture Dorian Gray?
Holy shit, you got that immediately.
Yes!
Good job, Danielle. One of Tori's fists darkens.
I told
water
you, Victorian literature. I got it.
I'm genuinely so proud of you. I was also proud of that riddle, and I'm glad it came off exactly as how it was supposed to. You are correct. One of Tori's fists of the fire lake darkens, water bubbling up from beneath it, completely dissolving the card into nothing. They shrug without a care in the world, eyeing you with anticipation. You look to one of Tori's other cards. Question 11. Treason, adultery, sin, ice rising to the chin. The frozen lair of Satan did Dante step. On which level of hell was this lying prince kept?
Fuck me. I don't know the layers of hell. I mean, I do, but I don't know, like,
I thought you loved Dante, Danielle.
I do, but I love the thematic. I like the idea that Dante wrote... I like the idea that Dante wrote an entire book going throughout the entire levels of hell with his senpai. I find it very cute and very
yeah, it is.
human.
It is very cute. People need to write more stuff like that. Just self-insert, stories about them going on journeys with their historical senpais through hell.
It's either 9 or 10.
You gotta pick, Danielle.
9, because it's an odd number.
As before, another of Tori's fists of the fire lake darkens until it's but paper tatters. They shift in their chair, their sneer settling slightly. That means you're correct, Danielle.
Yes! Go! Let's go!
Man, you're crushing this. We're breezing through this way faster than I was expecting.
Way better than the water one.
All right, Danielle. The final card. You look. Question 12. Paradise lost to Adam and Eve, carried away by this angel, who upon Satan his sword did cleave.
Like, who killed Lucifer?
The layman question is, which angel in Paradise Lost both escorted Adam and Eve out of paradise and also hurt Satan with his sword?
I thought there were 2 different angels. I'm holding up for anyone that's viewing. I'm holding up a copy of Paradise Lost that I just happen to have to decide.
Man, the fire route was for you, Danielle. It'd be really embarrassing if it wasn't, and you're just holding up a random book.
I am holding up Paradise Lost. I read this 2 years ago. So let me tell you what I think the answers are.
All right.
Because I thought that they're separate. I thought Haniel was the one that escorted Adam and Eve outside, and I know that Michael is the one that fought Lucifer, kicked Lucifer out. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Michael.
Tori's final card is washed away. There is no light left on their face, though yours shines with confidence. Man, what a comeback, Danielle.
Woo!
Oh, you went from floundering like a fish, and now you're a master of the God of Words.
You got into the genre that I know the most about.
Well, that makes for a fitting latter half of your journey. At first, Tori laughs. It's not a jolly or happy laugh. It's a strained laugh, a broken laugh, a laugh not heard in all of eternity. After so long, an infinity of wins without ever losing, the God of Words has finally met their match. And you aren't quite sure if they're happy or furious. The tavern splinters, twists and warps into ribbons of color and breezes of voices lost to the pompous god's trials. The color and noise spirals around Tori's body, ripping it apart until it explodes into a vast, all-consuming veil of light surrounded by blinking orbs. At long last, every voice to have passed through these caves speaks to you now as the mask of the mad God of Words. I have found you, and now we will see truly if you are worthy of my mercy. 3 more questions, I beg, and you shall be free. What's 3 more questions to you? You've already come this far. So, you let this crazed beast hit you with everything it's got. Are you ready, Danielle?
I am ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Question 13. Last, but not least, second to none. The end comes, but not this one.
Can I get a layman term?
Basically, what word means the thing before the final thing?
The second to last?
Well, yeah, but that's not the answer. It's a single word. A single word that means second to last, basically.
Can I get the multiple choice answers?
All right. Your answers, your choices are A, alpha, B,
Wait,
penultimate, C,
wait. Isn't it
what?
penultimate? I think I know this because I got published in Penultimate Peanut magazine. That was my first ever. That was my first ever publication by myself without a teacher giving it to me.
I'm just imagining you. I'm just imagining you standing in like this astral plane, facing against like this crazed god, and you're like, "Hey, wait! I got published in a magazine called Penultimate Peanut Magazine." Like I just imagine you saying this to them, and they're just like,
"But I did.
Like,
that was like my first
seething.
Ever publication. That's when I published Trial of a Goldfish Killer."
Well, how serendipitous, because that is the correct answer. The voices laugh in pleasured pain, delighted by your skill, yet still unrelenting in their surge of crushing power. Something in the air has shifted, as if the god has waited throughout all of everything for this very moment. Answer this one, if you even can. The beast bellows maniacally, for no choices will come to mind. You are on your own.
Okay.
Question 14. A crown of zenith, the queen lies in wait. Her name nor her kingdom obliviates. She rises from the ashes of this fated world, but opposed by those marauder girls. Name that place she clings on to, and back to where you came, you may too.
The only one I know is Zentera.
Damn, that's crazy, because I had one more thing to say.
Oh,
but you didn't
sorry?
even need it.
Was it? Did I?
I had like a little added thing where it says something trills in the back of your mind. The god said you wouldn't be given choices to answer with. Yet you wonder if you had picked up a certain glowing book that would change.
I did pick up
Basically,
a certain glowing book.
Yes. So you did have access to the multiple choice answers. However, you got it correct without even trying.
I'm just
so
that
it
much
doesn't
of a
matter.
badass.
You're just playing my whole game like you've already played it before. Which is ironic because this is one of the few episodes we didn't have to film a second time.
Knock on wood.
Silence. A pleased silence. At long last, finally, we are free. The light blooms, becoming so bright, so hot, it returns to darkness. But there is still a presence with you, just over your shoulder. So, young scholar, it seems you win, and now we look upon your hero's journey, and where it lands upon final spin. The gateway opens for this final step. Tell me, how does it end? That is a question. You have one last question.
Okay.
Do you need the layman translation?
Yeah.
What is the final step of the hero's journey? I'm looking for a very specific answer. Because there are a couple different answers, but there's a very specific one I'm looking for.
I'm trying to remember. Because here's the thing, dear writers that are also watching this. I do not outline my books to the hero's journey. I outline it to the, you just saw, the Save the Cat writes a novel. I know the ordeal is one, the resurrection. Isn't it like the will to live?
No.
No?
Fortunately, you're not at a point where you're taking damage. You're just like stuck in limbo until you get it right.
Okay.
There are multiple choice answers.
Okay,
but...
let me hear them.
All right. So
wait, before you do it, is it crossing the threshold?
No, I think that's near the beginning where they leave the ordinary world to start the journey.
Okay. Anyway,
so,
sorry, go ahead.
Your choices are the climax, the finale, the ending, the return.
The return.
And so you return, Danielle. Back from where you came from. You're back in your room, sitting in your desk chair, talking to me on camera, recording for our podcast, Bookworms on Call. I've just given you a very lovely quiz, though you don't quite remember any of the questions I asked you. Despite that, you feel proud of yourself and content with the job, the job well done. And I would like to say, Danielle, you got away with a stunning remaining 90 HP because you breezed through it so fast that you immediately started getting to like the one-hit KO. losses, so I didn't really get any
damn.
more chances to reduce your HP, because after you got to the tavern, you were just answering everything with ease.
That's because you got to the genre that I know the most about. You got to Victorian literature, and I was like,
yeah,
I got it.
it sucks. It would have been okay. Now let me give you some behind the scenes of this little thing that I just did. There were two paths you could have taken. You took the right path, so you went down the water path, but the left path would have actually taken you down the fire path, which would have been the questions from the cards you were shown in the tavern. So basically, I didn't want to have to think up 6 extra questions.
Yeah,
so I
do the same thing in D&D. I like
yeah. So I just repurposed the questions from the path you didn't take. And honestly, it makes me wish you had taken the fire path, because then we could have like gotten you confident for like that first half, and then like when you got to the tavern, it'd been like, oh shit, I don't know what to do, and then maybe you would have taken some more damage, or like gotten like a kill or anything. But that's fine. I like how it went. I thought it was pretty fun to like watch you struggle, but then at the end you were like totally confident. You knew what the fuck you were doing. You were locked in. You like were like, I know this shit, and you totally crushed that god of words, Danielle.
fuck the god of words.
Yeah, fuck that guy. They're stupid. Yeah, that's why I got excited when you said you were playing D&D earlier, because I was like, oh, well, Danielle's in for a ride, because this was very much inspired a little bit by D&D. Not exactly. It was more inspired by like choose your own adventure games.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do something like that for the podcast, because I think just doing like an English quiz would have been boring. And like this is like a podcast about writing and storytelling, so I was like, let's make it something fun. Let's make it a little story. Let's make it a little storytelling exercise. And I did that, and you did a great job answering the questions and going along with it. I was really worried you're gonna be like, Evan, what the fuck is this? This is not a quiz. This is not appropriate for the podcast. But no, you were like, no, like you went along with it. I don't know. I always get scared that like when I try to do something like fun, people are gonna shut it down, because like it's happened a lot to me before. So it's like, I'm happy that like you were able to just like get into it. So
I had a lot of fun. I'm very surprised that I knew the layers of hell. And that was a surprise for me.
I was surprised too, because like I had the multiple choice answers, and the answers were the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th layer, and like you just had to guess which one. So I was surprised like you just immediately got it.
I mean, I didn't know if it was red or 9 or 10. It was a 50-50.
But hey, you got the right 50, so that's all that matters.
And I think this proves to show that you don't need an education to be an artist.
Exactly, because I have no education, and I wrote a fun thing, and Danielle was not specifically educated on any of the questions that were asked, and she still got most of them correct. So I think we've proved our thesis here, right, Danielle?
Obviously. Maybe there'll be another episode topic talking about education.
Maybe.
I don't know how that's going to work, though.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I only made like a brief discussion, because like I feel like there's only so much you can say about like it's helpful, but like don't worry if you can't do it, because it's like it's not the end of the world if you can't get formally educated on this stuff, because especially nowadays it's so easy to like self-teach yourself things.
Yes.
So, but yeah, and I just wanted to do something fun and a little spicy for the podcast. Maybe this will inspire how you want to go about some of your episodes in the future. Not saying your episodes are boring, Danielle. Your episodes are so boring. No, I just mean like, you know, throwing some fun twists into episodes that otherwise may seem more straightforward than the host of the episode lets on.
I don't know how well that's going to work for me, because I'm very formulaic.
Maybe you'll come up with something.
But that's why we work well together.
Besides, Danielle, this is a show about expanding our writer brains. You know, this is about, you know, invigorating a community of writers and storytellers. It's like, expand your brain, you know, Danielle. Maybe someday you'll have that idea. You'll be like, this would be a great episode of the podcast. It's unconventional. It's not something I would normally do, and then you do it, and it's great. I fully believe.
Maybe I will one day.
Not saying your by the books podcast episodes aren't also that. I'm just saying I have full confidence that you can do something that isn't as as by the numbers.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will, but that will happen in time.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
I'm in no rush.
yeah, I wish I hadn't, because this did take, as short as it ended up being, this did take a lot to put together.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I wish I had more time to like make it a bit longer so that we could have extended our runtime a bit. But I think it was a satisfying size, and maybe someday I can do something similar to this but on a grander scope. I just wanted to like take a straightforward like topic and then have a little fun with it, because that's what being a writer is all about, is being presented an idea and then putting your twist on it, you know.
I'm very happy with my score. Now I feel
Yeah.
invigorated.
Oh yeah, I should have actually kept track of like which answers you got correct first try versus which ones you didn't, but like you got majority correct first try, so why bother? Also, this was kind of redemption for the forever lost Zenith quiz that I did, so
I still have the recording. I still have my recording.
yeah, it'd be your half of the recording. But yeah, so the fire path, when you saw you fight a big fire monster that had 3 mouths. I don't know why I felt the need to mention that now. It's just I realizing I didn't actually explain what the fire path was. And it's literally just what was on the cards. It's like the monster on his cards was the monster you would have fought. Yeah. Which means if you took the fire path, when you fought Tori Trial, they would have had the 3 tentacle cards.
In the comments of this episode, let us know how you did, because I'm assuming you guys were doing it alongside me. And if you're like, it's obviously picture of Dorian Gray, how could you not know? It's something like that. Then you can make fun of me in the comments as well.
I want to give Danielle some credit. That was a bad example, because that was one of the ones where she like immediately knew it. Like as soon as I told her the riddle, she was like, "Oh, that's the picture of Dorian Gray." So it's like,
I heard Vanity and Mirror, and I was like, obviously it's Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
Our favorite twink.
Yeah. In the comments, shout out Dorian Gray. Hashtag favorite twink Dorian Gray.
Favorite twink Dorian Gray.
And
I love Picture Dorian Gray. Oh my god, that book is so good.
Yeah, I had thought I had heard you talking about it before. I couldn't remember if you said you liked it or hated it, so I was like, I'm going to put a Dorian Gray question in.
So yeah, let us know how you guys did. I'm incredibly curious to see if you're like, what the hell, Danielle? You didn't know basic Greek mythology?
Yeah, Danielle. How do you not know Charybdis and Skyla?
How are you gay and don't know Greek mythology?
Wow, we're going to have to revoke your gay card, Danielle. Sorry.
I know, unfortunately. Oh, Ellis would have my head for that. Ellis might be a guest on our podcast.
Maybe he'd be able to answer that question.
He probably will. He definitely will. But yes, let us know how we did. And
on top of letting us know how you did, let us know if you even found this entertaining at all. Because this is very much a break from formula. And I did that very much intentionally. So if you hated the break from formula, let us know. If you liked the break from formula, let us know. Otherwise, Danielle, do you have anything else you want to say about like the theme of the episode, or like just the future in general?
Not really. Yeah, let us know how if you liked it or not. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in reviews. We would greatly appreciate it.
And on our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace.
No,
Tumblr.
No.
Facebook.
We're done.
Newgrounds.
We are on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes, exclusively, I think.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been Bookworms When Call. Remember to dig deep and answer the phone the next time we call. Because we will call, and the call may be an adventure of the lifetime of your lifetime, the adventure of your lifetime. And if you don't pick up the call, you're gonna be sad and miserable forever. So pick up the call next time we call, or I'm gonna throw a book at you. Okay, goodbye. I love you. Bye.